Yo, yo, I got my Gryffindor sweater on. Today I'm ranking my Harry Potter films. My favorite overall is Deathly Hallows Part 2. I love the way they did this. It was mature, they ended it correctly. It built up from the last film instead of a regular start the movie by going to Hogwarts, which I really liked. Obviously, great music, great battles, uh, epic scenes that I really loved. My second favorite, probably the one I've watched probably the most times, if I'm being honest, is Order of the Phoenix. We get the great battle with Dumbledore and Voldemort. Sirius Black dies. We get some pretty brutal scenes in that one, and I like uh, the maturity level from number five to Deathly Hallows Part Two. The next one I have is Half Blood Prince. This one was when you know Dumbledore, sorry, really started to use Harry as the pawn to seduce Voldemort into destroying the Horcruxes. Obviously, Dumbledore dies in this one. Uh, Draco Malfoy technically becomes a Death Eater. We get a lot of good dark stuff in this, and that movie really sets up the last two of what we're expecting to see, and it leads in perfectly into the last one, and it gets darker as the movies go along. The next one of my favorite that I really loved as a kid, especially when it came out, was Goblet of Fire. I love that it was more based on the competition, right? We got introduced to Mad Eye Moody. We first see Voldemort in full form. Obviously, Cedric Diggory dies, and that was a big deal at the time because none of the students had died yet, right? Not until like the Battle of Hogwarts do we see any students die, and no major characters had really died at that point. Cedric was only in one, but it was a big critical moment. But I like that one because it is the last school based one. Five is in school, but um, this one was just like a bigger and bigger arena, and obviously we get seeing Voldemort for the first time was huge. After that, I have Prisoner of Azkaban. I really like Prisoner of Azkaban. I know a lot of people have it as the number one or two position for their favorite Harry Potter movies. That one was kind of like the first two are for kids, like they're kids. Three and four is like their early teen to teen, and then five and up is where they get like what we consider older. Even though in the movie they're only the last one I think they're 17, they still uh, are more mature actors, I'd say. But number three, we get introduced to Sirius, Peter Pettigrew. They see Hogsmeade. It gets a little bit bigger. We get the Dumbledore switch from Richard Harris over to Michael Gambon, which even though Richard Harris passed away, and that's the reason why they switched, I never really saw how Richard Harris could have done the later movies, what was involved with being Dumbledore. I don't know if everyone else sees it the way, but I always saw it that way. Maybe they would have went a different direction if Chris Columbus also would have stayed on. But leading to the next one after that, speaking of Chris Columbus, my next one is number one. Normally in a series or trilogy, I put a number one at the top because it's what starts everything. Ranking these movies is hard because it's based on my personal favorite, not which one I think is the best made film. Number one is obviously great. We get introduced to everybody. It was a grand scale movie for live action at the time, right? This is you're talking 2001, so you're talking Lord of the Rings is out, this is out, Pirates of the Caribbean. Things were getting made huge, and whatever company had the biggest series won basically. It was a great time to go see movies. This is one where they're kids, right? So there's not they hadn't developed how they're going to do all the spells yet, like in terms of action scenes. We do see a little bit of Voldemort in that first one, but they played it right based if J.K. Rowling wrote the books in perfect order of expansion of everything. And my least favorite, but not the worst made movie, I won't admit to that, is Chamber of Secrets. Chamber of Secrets is the one I've seen the least amount of times. I don't know why I don't like it. I don't know. It just didn't attract me like the others. I thought like it was almost like the other ones are dark in terms of the maturity of the scenes and like the gloominess. And this one's like dark in terms of just like literally dark and creepy. It's more like mystery almost, and like instead of grand, it's like it's on the same scale as the first one. It's not like it really got much bigger, but it's still a great movie. About every 2 years, I probably watch the whole series in totality over like a span of like a week or two. This year I'll probably do it. I don't get sick of these movies. I usually actually watch these movies around Christmas time anyway. Like I usually at least watch one Harry Potter movie a year for God's sakes. Um, but outside of the movies, I know they talked about doing an original series. That is going to be very difficult for them to do. They have to get the casting 100% perfect, right? Because the movies are cast perfectly. They're perfect. You couldn't get any better casting. So that's going to be very difficult for them. This Gryffindor sweater here, if you haven't been to Universal Studios Harry Potter World, get yourself there as soon as possible. It's awesome. If you love Harry Potter, you will love Harry Potter World. Trust me, they got Gringotts, Hogsmeade, rides, Diagon Alley, wands, butterbeer. They got it all. I did watch, if you haven't also watched the 20th anniversary Harry Potter special by HBO, please go watch that. It's really cool to see the actors reflect back on their time making Harry Potter and how special it was to them. And it's actually shocking. About once a year now, we lose an actor who starred in a Harry Potter movie, which, because they were kind of older when the movie started, right? And it's been 20 years, so it's to honestly, sadly, be expected. Um, Again, with my ranking of Harry Potter movies, it's not what I think is the best made. It's just what I've watched the most, what I feel is the best in terms of emotion. If you haven't seen Harry Potter, you're a little late to the show, but go watch them. I'll see you guys in the next one. Comment below what your favorite Harry Potter movie is. Peace.